Hello, Namaskar, and a very good evening to everyone watching NCRT's live interactive program. I am Simran Singh, and you have all connected with us through eVidya channel number 6 to 12. And besides this, there are so many other mediums through which you can all connect with us. You can even participate in our live conversations by raising your questions or your queries in the comment section of our YouTube channel that goes by the name NCRT Official. And once again, a very warm welcome to all our viewers in our 5 days, 5 hours online training program on cyber clubs. So very quickly, we'll take a note of the different topics that we are going to cover for these 5 days, that is starting today from 4th of March till 8th of March. We all know that cyberspace and the digital space, it has become quite important for an individual today. But when we talk about the positive impacts, obviously there have to be certain negative impacts as well, but it actually depends on how we use them. So raising awareness about cyber security concerns, issues, it is very important for everyone. So let us quickly have a look at our screens, and you can see that this is the website of CIET NCRT, ciet.ncrt.gov.in. So if you want to attain more information regarding the 5 days online training program, all you have to do is click on activities. Under activities, the second last option says workshop/training. So once we scroll down, there are three kind of activities available for you. Under current activity, it's our online training program starting on 4th of March, that is today. We are going to conclude this on 8th of March. Just click on online training regarding cyber clubs. So we scroll down and we get to know the different areas that we are going to cover in these 5 days. Today the topic of discussion will revolve around cyber clubs, concept, need and scope. Then day 2, tomorrow we are going to discuss on the activities on technical aspects of cyber safety. Then 6th of March, it will be all about activities on psychological and physical aspects of cyber safety. Then on 7th of March, the 4th day, the discussion will be about the activities on socio-ethical aspects of cyber safety. And on 8th of March, we are going to discuss about the activities on legal aspects of cyber safety. Now, once we conclude our training program, we also have our post-session activity for all of you. We will be discussing in the later half of the program, and you all can participate. And in order to attain all the information, you can see that there are the dates, the days, the titles, and our esteemed resource persons who will be connecting with us. How you all can participate with us in the post-session activity, there are certain steps laid down for you. It's a registration, watching the live programs, then participating in the post-session activity or quiz, and if you score over 70%, then you will receive a certificate from CIET NCRT. The link will be updated on the concluding day of our 5 days online training program. It is 8th of March, and you can always submit your feedback with us through this Google form. We will discuss about this in detail in the other programs as well that we are going to have for tomorrow, day after tomorrow until 8th of March. And in the conversation, if you have any of the queries, so feel free to connect with us through this contact number that is flashing on your screens. It is 8800440559. And also you can always reach out to us through this specific mail ID right there on your screens. It is cybersafety@ciet.nic.in. Also you can connect with us through training.helpdesk@ciet.nic.in. So let me introduce you to the panelists for today's discussion. In the conversation we have with us Professor Indu Kumar, Head from DICT and TD, CIET NCRT. Namaskar ma'am.
Namaskar.
A warm welcome to you. Then just besides me, we have with us Dr. Deepak Dwivedi, Senior Cyber Intelligence Expert from I4C MHA. Namaskar. Welcome you as well. Then through online modality, we have with us Major Vineet Kumar, Founder and Global President of Cyber Peace Foundation. He has been at the forefront of addressing cyber crimes against children in various domains. Namaskar sir. आपका भी बहुत बहुत स्वागत है. So let us initiate our conversation and trying and understand more about cyber clubs. At the same time, in the digital space, how things become vulnerable. So discussing more on this aspect, we have with us Deepak sir. So sir, I would like to ask you, how vulnerable actually children are in the digital space with the usage of social media and so many different platforms. We all require digital space in some way.
Well, this is a good question, I would say. First, thanks to NCRT for this platform. And from this medium, the question which asks about the vulnerability pertaining to the children, that is a big concern, even though we can't imagine today students' perspective, or even though anyone who can survive like the device generally we call digital device, the mobile phone basically. And we have seen that like nowadays everything is happening through this digital device. It could be laptop, it could be computer, it could be your any mobile or smartphones or tab, something like that. So we have seen that using these platform there are many crimes, many issues are there, and generally we not focusing on these all things. So when you categorize these areas with students, or you can say anyone, it could be any citizen of any place who are using internet, who are using these devices, this is a big challenge for them. So some challenges I would like to highlight in this one. Suppose a person is browsing some content on any social media platform, or if suppose somebody would like to see some news article on any news platform, or you can say any student who would like to download any game from any play store, or you can say any gaming platform, generally what happen, so there is some concern like maybe the content which he or she is downloading that may contain some sort of malicious virus, malicious malwares which is there. Similarly, if any content you're downloading for reading perspective, like any information or any news, that news article could be fake, it could be misinformation which can create a fake news. That is the second perspective. Similarly, all are connected through internet, so they are thinking, the users are thinking that it create a silos, like it create an isolated environment where a person don't know exactly with whom he or she is chatting. So sometime the anonymity they are maintaining, they don't know exactly whom they are talking, discussing, downloading. So some these challenges are there in a very big case. So to counter these challenges, first of all we should know exactly what are the issues, and once we know the issue, then only we able to solve these problems. So for example, we know that exactly there are the malwares, there are the viruses, or basically you can say generally we call malwares, which is in mobile phone or digital devices. So to eradicate or to countermeasure these all things, we are using antiviruses, anti-malware solution. So to download this anti-malware solution, if you Google, if you search something like download antivirus, then we have multiple things which comes as a result, but we don't know exactly which antivirus we should download. Maybe we download something which may be a malware. Similarly, when you talk about on any Play Store, any application store, we download this application by searching this about any antivirus, something like that. When you download this, all you don't know exactly what permission generally they are asking. So that is again a big challenge. So once we have good antivirus, then we can prevent ourselves from the viruses or malwares which is in this cyberspace. That is one. Similarly, when talking about any information which could be a fake news or misinformation, so suppose any examination perspective things are there, we are talking about some results has been declared so and so time frame, or maybe some people can say that like the holidays would be like in these days, that the time period is like these days, the examination is these days. So similarly, these contents are coming on official websites. So similarly, we should know exactly what are those official websites. So one good example we can take, suppose we bought something from Amazon website, for example, and we suppose there is we not received the product. Then generally we do what, we search about the contact detail of a customer care number through directly from Google. Suppose some people they post also these all things on Twitter or different platform. So generally what happen, hackers and these criminals are also available over there. They are also scouting these all things. So once they see these all things, they download and they again try to call the users, and they say that, sir, madam, I'm calling from Amazon or XYZ department. How would I like to help you in this domain? So generally what happens, the crimes are going there. So in this scenario, if we directly go to the Amazon and we have a support page there, we just take the help from there by sending email or through the application which is there. So similarly, there are various means where we can prevent ourselves from defrauding ourselves in this domain. So one major concern which I would like to highlight is about the cyber bullying, cyber grooming. These are the cyber challenges for the youth or for the student generally they are thinking. Many students, even though they are hiding their age in this domain, like some website prompt that ki if you are adult you can visit this website, for example. So there's no mechanism to check exactly, yes, the website can be visible by any Tom Dick person. So that is one perspective. Similarly, many people are hiding or they are telling lie on social media platform. So similarly, it is what you exactly, people don't know whom they are chatting or discussing these all things. So similarly, when the things will come, when their accounts has been hacked or hijacked generally in this case, then they don't know exactly where to report. So similarly, in this perspective, we should know about a portal called cybercrime.gov.in, that is a centralized portal to report all the cyber crimes. So similarly, challenges are there and solutions are also there. So one major point about the cyber netiquette is very important, where people have to understand exactly the network etiquettes, what is the best method to surf internet, what is the best method to use these platforms, these websites, how to download. So this is the main concern. So the addiction is another part. Nowadays what is happening, if you check about the screen time, if I'm asking to you like how many hours generally you are spending a whole day in this particular, so you will see that option called digital well-being, that is already pre-installed in mobile platform. You can check exactly you are spending around 4 hours in Instagram watching reels, you are watching some sort of Snapchat, you are checking on YouTube, maybe you're planning to do something. So it also gives the things, basically like what amount of time you're spending. So digital well-being can tell exactly what is. So addiction is also a big challenge nowadays, where we don't know exactly what amount of time we are spending. Is it really productive for us or not? Because there are many things which is challenging nowadays. Second challenge about the gaming part. Gaming is also a big thing. Our gaming industry is booming, no doubt. But when you see as an average, like how many students or how many people they got success into these domains, so the proportion are very less. So point here is like that we should bound ourselves with the time limitations, like we continue watch or download or playing these all things, sometimes it's impact in our mental health as well. We are like we are not making our concern with our family members, we are hiding our things, we're not talking with our parents like that. So similarly we should also know that we have to use these all things, but we should have some time limits as well for the same, because we have to sync with today's generation. We should talk about AI, we should talk about chat GPT, what things are going on. If we not update with these all things, then how things can work. So knowledge of all things and parallelly countermeasures of these all things are very, very important in this domain.
And sir, as you rightly mentioned that there are challenges and of course there are solutions as well. So the important need is to be aware.
Correct.
This sort of awareness has to exist not only among children but of course for everyone. So when we talk about awareness, especially in terms of children, so Indu ma'am, we would like to ask you, how important is it to create awareness regarding cyber safety for children, because we are all using cyberspace in one or the other way, maybe for our school projects or maybe surfing the social media platforms in some way. And what does NEP 2020 recommend about it?
Thank you, Simran, for the very basic question, because we all should understand and know what are the recommendation of NEP 2020 for safety concerns for children in our educational scenario, and how important it is to address the safety concern per se. So I would like to mention here that today is the National Safety Day. So March 1st is being observed as the National Safety Day, and the entire week will be observed as National Safety Week. So in the given context, today is the right time to discuss about cyber safety and security. So we have also started this week for observing cyber safety and security. So in NEP 2020, as far as NEP is concerned, school safety has been recommended in a very big way. We have to address it, although I am not saying that school safety wasn't a concern. But reflecting in NEP 2020 ensures that concentrated efforts need to be made for school safety. And cyber safety and security is also one of the major concerns which is now coming up in a big way as far as safety concerns are there. So earlier safety concerns have different dimensions. These dimensions also exist now, but a new dimension has been added to it, keeping in view the technological world, cyber world we all are moving in. And we all know that our children are also moving in the cyber world. When we move in physical world, there are a lot of do's and don'ts told to them by their parents, by their teachers, on how to keep themselves safe in physical world. But when they are moving in cyber world, it becomes a very big challenge for the teachers as well as for the parents also, because adults generally are not that techno savvy. They are migrant to the world of technology, although children are native in the world of technology. They are born with technology, so they are fearlessly using technology. just ignoring or not being aware of the safety concern, the kind of safety concern that they need to adhere to. So, in the given context, cyber safety and security is coming up in a very big way, and it has been reflected in NEP 2020 also. And NCERT has taken up a lot of measures regarding the safety and security of children, especially in the cyber world. The 2 chapters of our NEP 2020 are dedicated to technology, that is chapter 23 and 27, and there also safety concern of children, making them safe in the cyber world, have been mentioned. So, keeping that in view, and before NEP 2020 also, NCERT was taking up initiative to address the issues related to cyber safety and security. So, NCERT has developed guidelines for cyber safety and security. So, these guidelines are in 2 languages, they are in Hindi and English, and they are available on NCERT's website. So, these guidelines are for teachers, because teachers also need to be aware about safety concerns, then only they can address their children, resolve the safety concern which their children face. So, there are guidelines for teachers, for schools also, because safety also related to keeping your device safe, because if our device is not safe, then also we get vulnerable to certain kinds of threats which emerge out of it. So, protecting the cyber spaces or spaces where these devices are there is also very important. So, we need to keep our devices also protected. So, these guidelines also mention how to keep our devices protected. So, the guidelines are for schools, for teachers, for students, and also for parents. So, like that we have developed these guidelines. Apart from this, NCERT has also developed Pragyata guidelines. So, they are not the name is not new to the teachers and teacher educators, because these guidelines were developed during the time of pandemic to just orient the teachers and teacher educators on how to take digital education forward. And during that time, all of us were forced to move on to using technology for disseminating education. So, that time also cyber safety and security emerged as a very big issue to be tackled too. And in these guidelines also a lot of cyber safety and security concerns have been mentioned, apart from advocating or apart from offering different models of digital educations. So, these guidelines also mentions about screen time, because it also apart from being unsafe, it puts an hazard to our health also, being in the cyber world. So, what screen time should be there for different age groups of children, and also cyber etiquettes is also very important. So, these things are also mentioned in these guidelines. It is also addresses the issue of cyber bullying, and also it mentions agronomic aspects of it, how we should set the postural importance also, so that we don't get the health issues, physical as well as mental and emotional. Cyber safety and security concern is addressed for class 9th to 12th children in the ICT, IT and computer science textbooks. So, there are separate chapters, and wherever instances come, these issues have been tackled there and then also in different chapters. And issues like email safety, spam emails, how to respect other people's safety and security, cyber bullying, how to keep ourselves safeguard in the cyber world, what is hacking, what is cyber crime, and what are the protection measures which are offered to us, like cyber laws, and also all such issues are addressed in ICT, IT and computer science textbooks. of NCRT. Apart from this, NCRT has also developed ICT curriculum for uh, teachers and for students, and in ICT curriculum also these the issues of cyber safety and security have been addressed. Apart from this, e-waste is also a big hazard. Any kind of waste, if it is not managed, becomes a hazard to us. So CIT has also offered on Diksha platform a course on e-waste management, because it is also one of the safety concerns that we need to adhere to. NCRT also organizes a number of training programs, and we create state resource groups in different dimensions of education, different areas of educational importance, and CIET takes care of the courses in technology, in e-content development and all. In every training that we impart, we keep a segment to address cyber safety and security. So it is one of the important area which we address through our training programs as well. Apart from this, we are also collaborating with different organizations like CDAC, Cyber Peace Foundations. In collaboration with Cyber Peace Foundation, we are organizing competition for children to make them aware about the technology, about the cyber safety and security concerns. So there are a number of competitions that are being organized where children become part of change. When they get a theme on cyber safety and security, create posters, apps and other such creatives on the issues, they become part of the change and part of the knowledge that is being generated. So like that, we are collaborating with the different organizations. One of such organization is also UNESCO. So in collaboration with UNESCO, we have developed guidelines for cyber safety and security, which are there on our website. And awareness is also being generated through DTH channels and through YouTube channels. And we are also aware that CIT has organized where Nishtha program, national initiatives for school heads and teachers holistic development. So where we orient the teachers on different areas of educational importance, and cyber safety and security is one of the area which is integrated in one of the modules of Nishtha training programs. So like that, not only we are orienting teachers, but we are also orienting parents, we are also orienting students on cyber safety and security, because taking the issue holistically will only resolve the kind of threats that we are facing in cyber world. We cannot ignore or avoid using technology, but all we need to know is to know how to keep ourselves safe about cyber safety and security concerns, and also about the kind of laws that exist to address this particular issue.
Of
So
course,
that's all.
ma'am.
Thank you,
Very rightly, it
Sindhu.
has been pointed out by you that we cannot ignore or deny the fact that we all need technology or use it in our daily lives, but we have to make a judicious use. So, having discussed about the vulnerability of the cyberspace and also the awareness about it, it is very important to know about the strategies that can help us in being more responsible digitally. So, providing us more insights into that, we have with us Major Vineet sir in the conversation, and particularly highlighting the role of cyber clubs as well. So,
Thank you, Simranji, and it's really a pleasure to be back again here in the studio, though virtually. I'm sorry for not being present in person. I'm not in India currently. And thank you, Indu ma'am and Deepak, for your contribution. I think the strategies also have been said, major part of the strategies have been covered already, but I have written certain points. I thought I'll just quickly share some of them, and I'm also going to share an experience that we at CyberPeace see by setting up these CyberPeace clubs and the CyberPeace volunteers. A lot of engagements, activity-based education is something that is contributing to make the students and also the ecosystem resilient. But I have 10 points basically when it comes to strategy, and prime number one in that strategy list is the cyber awareness and education. And this requires a comprehensive curriculum to be developed. Already this curriculum developed by NCERT, curriculum that has been developed by CBSE and MOE. These curriculums are covering topics like digital footprinting, online privacy, cyberbullying, and the ethical use of digital resources. And it's all open for educators, for students to access it. What's interesting is the real life scenarios are also integrated. The use of real
Yes, Vineet, sir, you were sharing certain important details with us on how we can be more responsible digitally, and we'll get back to Vineet, sir. But till then, Deepak, sir, are there certain strategies that can be used by teachers or students in order to be more safe and secure in the digital space?
Definitely, like today's in the era, we are completely depending, the influencers on social media. Like, we have seen various people on digital space, like people are following, even though we are watching different series, web series on OTT platforms, and we inspire by them. And when we compare the youth today, they are actually doing what they just copying these all things blindly. So like madam mentioned about the hacking part, so usually people just search about like how to do hack. So and again the question is that there are the website those who are giving disclaimers like the content is for educational perspective, but even though the students basically or those people, they don't do what they just try this information for commit on social media platforms or any online platform, and ultimately what happened, they don't know the consequences about the same thing, and similarly what happened, they have to face some different issues as well. So from this manner, one perspective is very important to the teachers or the trainers generally or the mentors. They should aware, then only they can aware to the students or youth who are behind this particular. So digital things perspective, we should have a child friendly environment. So when we have a child friendly environment, then only we should understand exactly the new things. Accordingly we can guide to the students, like for example, if you search something on chat GPT, so the records are maintained by the company basically. If you search something on Google, so then the Google also keep history. If you do any crime or any sort of research perspective things on your computer, then digital forensics can play a role to find these all juicy information from these things. If you send something on WhatsApp, the data can be retrievable digitally, footprints are there. So when we give the use case, then the childrens and the people, they know exactly the understanding of the digital things, cyber things. Accordingly they can prevent ourselves, because when they have the cases, so we have seen these things which is over there.
All right, thank you so much. And getting back to Vineet, sir, sir, please tell us more on this area, how we can be more digitally safe and secure. Sir, I'll request you to please unmute yourself. Yes, Vineet, sir.
Yeah, I'm unmuted
Yes,
already.
yes, you are audible to us. You may continue.
Okay. Yes, so I was just mentioning about the strategy number 2, which is critical thinking and problem solving skills. So we live in an era where we are surrounded by Gen AI and in fact Chat GPT, though a lot of positive cases which Deepak just highlighted. There are a lot of positives, but yes, there are certain challenges when it comes to deepfake, misinformation that is being spread through tools like these Gen AI based tools. So in this era, it is also extremely important for the students and for the educators to realize the importance of critical thinking and problem solving skills. And under that, if I may also add, is that as students should know to evaluate information. So teaching students to critically evaluate the reliability and credibility of online information is one, and also decision making, encouraging students to think before they click, to share or respond to online content, emphasizing the prominence of any kind of action, digital action that they take. So, I mean, if as netizens, we should know that anything that we put out on the social media is there. It stays forever. So we need to be mindful of the actions, whatever actions we are doing, the way we are conversing, the way we are interacting, and that is where, as students, as young people, in fact, this is something that should basically go into the minds. Then the importance of emotional intelligence in digital interactions, having empathy online. So we should also know that the way we kind of develop empathy in the real world, it's something that we need to develop that in the cyberspace also. So that is very important. The importance of self-regulation, teaching students to managing their emotions when faced with cyber challenges and to seek help when needed. Whenever they come across any such situation, they should know where to go, what to report. Again, there has been mentions by the speakers about the portal that exists today. We have 1930 that is being operated by Ministry of Home Affairs. We have the official portal again being run by Ministry of Home Affairs called as cybercrime.gov.in. So it's a lot of reporting mechanism exists, but as students do they know that okay, these are the platform, this is where if somebody is bullying, somebody is harassing, somebody is trying to stalk, where do I need to go, where to report. There are reportings that also happen on the platform. Platform based reporting is one thing. Again, if there is some content of mine which actually has been published on a particular platform, there is something called as the DMCA, it's Digital Millennium Copyright Act. Under the DMCA, if I find any such content surfacing, I can, and this is basically for the US based platform like the Metas of the world and Google, YouTube and all, you can straight away go, fill up the form and get your content taken down. In fact, students should be aware of IT rules. I'm not saying that they should know everything about the rules, but at least they should know that there are some brief, some crux of the IT rules 2021 and how do these rules prevent students and young people. DPDP Act is also enforced now again, and in fact there's a strong push to kind of safeguard children and vulnerable population in the cyberspace. So all of these things actually something that should be told, that should be educated in the form of capacity building program, in the form of curriculum, in the form of activities like what we do with NCRT, the e-Raksha competition. That is something very important. Promoting digital etiquettes and digital citizenship is my point number 4, which actually promotes positive online behavior. And also, if you want to be a good digital citizen, you should know the community guidelines. Every platform has community guidelines. So what are these community guidelines that I as a netizen, I as a student, I as somebody who is into technology should need to know? What are my boundaries? So develop and enforce clear guidelines and policies for appropriate online behavior within schools, and also including any kind of digital platform, whether it is like there are sessions happening online on Zoom, on any kind of platform. These community guidelines should be kind of disseminated and told to the students. Also, strengthening online privacy and security. This is very important. All the platforms today, whether it is any of the social media platforms or tech platform, they have required privacy and secure best practices. There are privacy settings which kind of tells you on how you can keep your data, your information private, and is not something that needs to be shared. Again, you have to be mindful what you write, what you share. You need not put everything of your life on the social media from from the time when you start the day to the end of the day. Not everything needs to be told. So you need to be selective. You need to do those selective sharing as students and young people. And this also actually is the same when it comes to adults like us. If we need to keep ourselves safe, we need to develop resilience and coping strategies. If issues happen, there are certain times where we have got panic calls from our helpline number, and people are writing emails to us that we don't wish to go to the police because my parents would get to know, my family would get to know. So there have been such instances, and there have been panic calls, suicidal calls also that comes to us. So in such a scenario, again, there is help available. Like there are internet de-addiction centers, like NIMHANS has one. NIMHANS has something called a Shut Clinic, which actually gives a kind of a platform or a medium to the survivors or any kind of student who's facing such kind of crimes to reach out and seek help from professional counselors. And I'm sure so is the case with NCRT and the counselors that are different schools. But there is help available, and this is where to develop resilience, you need to speak up, you need to reach out and seek those help. My next point is, and I have three more strategies to cover. This is my eighth strategy, which is engage parents and guardians. So, as parents, guardians, caregivers, you need to know the importance of cyber education. You need to know about different resources that exist, and you need to also communicate with your children about different online risk and preventive measures. So, it's not just your home. It's not just the school where the teachers need to communicate. As parents, as educators, caregivers, you need to also educate about it to your child, to your children at homes. Set up family guidelines, encourage families basically to establish their own rules and guidelines for digital device usages at home. And as parents and guardians, we can become the best example for the students if we kind of make a habit that say at 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. we deposit all our phones on the dining table, and maybe next day again in the morning we take it back. So that is one kind of a guideline, and if we follow it, so that would actually set as an example. There are monitoring and filtering applications that exist. As again, teachers, school administrators, parents, guardians, you should know that there are a lot of such applications that exist. Like again, I don't wish to kind of promote a particular platform. There are many platforms, but there's something that we have seen with that Google having Google Family Link, and through that, in fact, parents can actually monitor that their child is not being exposed to anything age inappropriate. So that kind of filtering application exists, and as parents, teachers, educators, guardians, you need to be aware of those filtering and monitoring mechanisms. And finally, create cyber resilience ambassadors in schools and any kind of communities. Also, we have been promoting Cyber Peace Corps as that kind of volunteer kind of peacekeeping force that is in different communities, starts with schools and goes to colleges, universities. These ambassadors are also in academic institutions, also within industry, and different kind of people, people who come and belong to different walks of life, and they're coming together to actually act as cyber resilience ambassadors who can model positive online behavior, lead peer education sessions, and also support their classmates in times of needs, or if there are any issues like that. And there is a full-fledged strategy. I don't have much time here, but then I'll quickly take you through how we kind of develop these strategies. But this is basically the reach of our volunteers right now growing. This is last updated, but the volunteers are in more than 50 countries now. And it's the largest community of cyber peace and cybersecurity advocates, where we talk about crowdsourcing cyber peace and cyber security by doing this training, competitions like e-Raksha, capture the flags, setting up a network of active volunteers for digitally aware, and also, like I said, crowdsourcing, like skill and knowledge of volunteer response to information and incident training and awareness that ensures sustainability. That's what we cover. Different ways where we onboard volunteers, but basically people from any walk of life can be a part of it, and they can contribute on different things, whether it is policy, advocacy, diplomacy, inclusion, outreach, awareness, education. So we kind of engage volunteers in different forms. So that is basically what we do, and we have this tier model also where we kind of engage every volunteer ambassador who does a particular activity gets a point, and that's how it goes up the chain. We have the concept of the cyber peace clubs as well. The first club started way back around 10 years back in one of the schools in Jharkhand. And since then, there are many clubs that have been opened in different schools, and their entire motive is to educate, empower, encourage, engage, and also have a culture of collaboration with local, national, international cyber safety initiative to enhance learning and awareness. We do workshops, simulation exercises, cyber competition, awareness campus, collaborative projects with this different clubs. The benefit of setting up these ambassadors and clubs is it actually enhances skill development, cybersecurity skills among students, preparing them for the digital challenge of the future, and also cybersecurity is like an emerging area. In fact, as students, you should also know that there is, as per the current statistics, 3.5 million cybersecurity experts are required just in India, and once the DPDP Act comes into power, the number is going to increase like anything. It's already in power, but slowly as it grows, the numbers are going to increase, and every institution would need a cybersecurity expert. So it's not that you need to be aware to protect yourself or your communities, but it is also opening doors for you to have a career in cybersecurity. Then comes the awareness, community engagement, involves broader school community in meaningful discussions about cyber safety, organized debate competition, quiz competition, hackathons, and career exploration exposes students to cybersecurity as a potential career path. So we have different partners in this particular journey. From again, we can see students from different schools, whether they are from a government school, government-aided school, or maybe some of the international schools, colleges, universities. They have been engaging with us, and the entire initiative has been covered widely by Cambridge Press, by New York Times, The Conversation, and many national and international media. So briefly, in a nutshell, sorry for taking more time, but this is what, as strategies, these are some 10 strategies which I thought I'll share on the call. And now over to you, Simranji.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing these important strategies with all of us. And having discussed a lot about cyber safety security, we are having certain important questions also rolling on in the comment section of NCRT official. So if you allow, sir, as you just mentioned that sometimes we are sharing too much on internet. So how much is too much? The question is how to draw a line between how much to share and what not to share with regard to our lives on social media or maybe on internet on one or the other platforms.
Right. So shall I answer?
Yes,
Simranji?
yes. I request you to please share your response on this.
Yeah. So actually, it's something that, like I mentioned, critical thinking is very important here, and we need to understand that what kind of information is personal to us, very personal to us, and what kind of information can be made public. For example, like I mentioned, like you need not put everything of your life, starting with like you got up at this time and what you're eating, what you're eating chapati or rice, where are you going, like you're going to watch a movie with friends at this particular PVI, we need not share all of that. There has been incident and there have been cases where a child was kidnapped in one of the cases because the child posted his location on a particular social media platform mentioning that he's going to watch a late night and this particular time. So that is where you need to draw a line, that what data, what information I need to share, to what extent I need to share, and what kind of information can actually get into some kind of issues, or it may pose a potential risk in your life. So you need to be mindful of that. Secondly, the conversations that you do, any kind of conversation, any kind of gestures that you make, you need to be again mindful because you're on a public platform. If you're making fun of someone, if somebody is fat and then you're making fun of that particular person, it may be taken negatively, and there are rules under the IT Act wherein if somebody files a kind of issue, it can be taken as a defamation or making fun of that person in the cyberspace. It may not be taken on a lighter side, and you may suffer some legal consequences related to it. So be extremely careful about those conversations. And yes, I mean, be a responsible digital netizen, behave responsibly, look for everyone, have that empathy among you to kind of be there for help. Analyze every such information. Like I mentioned again, misinformation is really going bigger and bigger day by day. And again, the Gen AI related misinformation, deepfake, and such kind of content is already escalating in the community. So be extremely mindful of the content that you see on any platform, whether on WhatsApp, whether on Telegram, whether on Instagram. You have to be careful. Think before you share is something that I mentioned earlier. You need to critically think. You need to do a little bit of research on that content, whether that content is correct, incorrect, and if you find it correct, if you find it authentic, then only share it with others. Because if you share incorrect or misinformation among your community, it could be your family group or any particular place, it may land you up in some kind of a trouble for disseminating misinformation in the community. So this is what
All right. Thank you so much for your response, sir. And Deepak, sir, would you like to add to that?
Yeah, definitely. Like it is very clear what exactly we have to post. I would like to add one thing, like in this era we know about the cookies, browser cookies. Suppose we are feeling sad, then we are posting content in our WhatsApp status, or posting streaks on different platforms. Sometimes when we talk about social media platforms, we are liking some things, then accordingly what happened, that the behind machine learning will work, and accordingly it will prompt those things which, how do we feel. So suppose we are thinking about job, we are searching about anxiety, something like that, we are thinking about some rival things or revenge perspective, then what happened, that when what we are searching, that psychological perspective, the data prompts in the social media, and accordingly it provoke us to indulge into this type of platform. Generally we do these all things. So in this era as well, we have to very clear what we are posting, what we are sharing, that is one, but accordingly the things which is generating, accordingly the things which is coming, that is the important point. But again, to be very frank, a portal called cybercrime.gov.in, there we have cyber digest, we have cyber awareness perspective things, you can download it, that is in English and Hindi perspective for the awareness perspective. And similarly, if any something happened, any mishappening, any cyber, anything which is happening for bullying perspective, or somebody is blackmailing, somebody is doing any sort of things on social media platform, you can report to there. We have different options. For example, like if any content which is obscene content you want to remove, you want to tell, and don't want to go to police station as well, then go to the portal, you can upload your concern in anonymous manner, no need to reveal your identity, that is one. And similarly, if any cyber perspective things, any bullying is happening, any a person who is trying to cheat you or try to report under suspect data, that option is there on cybercrime.gov.in. So awareness is very important, that is the key to prevent yourself in this kind of domain.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your response. And Indu ma'am, well, we have paucity of time, but very quickly I would like to ask you, NCRT, it is doing a lot in order to raise awareness about cyber safety and security. So is there any particular research in this field that has been dedicated to cyber security or raising awareness about it?
Yeah, thank you, Simiran, for this question. NCRT constantly engages itself in various kind of researches, and research on cyber safety and security is also emerging as a big area of educational research in the arena of technology, educational technology. And recently CIET NCRT has conducted a research studies where we have studied the awareness level of teachers on cyber safety and security, what all awareness they have. Because to understand, we need to understand the awareness level, then only we can tackle the issue with various kind of corrective measures. So based on the findings of this study, we have already organized a manual on cyber safety and security for teachers, and subsequently we will be having dedicated training programs also based on the findings of this research. So
right.
That was it, Simran.
Thank you so much, ma'am, and a word of thanks to all the three panelists who have connected with us for this important discussion. Thank you so much, Professor Indu Kumar. Thank you, Dr. Deepak Dwivedi. And a word of thanks goes to Major Vineet Kumar, sir, as well. Thanks a lot. Well, thank you to all the viewers who have connected with CIET and NCRT for this particular 5 days, 5 hours online training program on cyber clubs, where we are trying our best to raise awareness about cyber security and why it matters for each one of us, especially our children, because we know that they are more vulnerable to it. So this is a wrap up for our discussion. On day one, we discussed about the cyber clubs, the concept and the need, the scope associated with it. And tomorrow we are going to have the conversation on activities on technical aspects of cyber security and why does it matter in all our lives. So technology we can actually use it in order to leverage or enhance our experiences, or at the other end it can actually cause some sort of harm if we are not aware. So that sort of awareness has to be there with all of us, and tomorrow we are going to discuss on the technical aspects of cyber security. And once again, viewers, I would like to tell you that you have to observe, you have to watch the training programs very carefully, because once we conclude our training program, we have our post session activity or the quiz for all of you, and the quiz link will be uploaded on the website of CIET on 8th of March. That is the last day of our program for this particular training series. Your feedback matters a lot, so please write to us about what you feel or any particular questions in case if you have, you would like to ask to our experts. Thank you once again. Keep watching Evidya channels. Next up is our program of Sahyog, where we try to raise awareness about mental well-being and providing psychosocial support to all the learners, the viewers and the audiences who keep on connecting with us. So we have the next program, that is Sahyog. Keep watching with their channels. Take very good care of yourself. We will be right back tomorrow itself at the same time for the second day of our online training program. Namaskar.